Today we're going to talk about sharps and flats, and along the way we're going to learn about enharmonic notes. So first of all, right in front of us here we have the piano keyboard. This is the piano from the band room, and so you have all these wonderfully chipped keys here. That's just great. You know, it actually looks like somebody's been like gnawing on the keyboard. If I ever catch anyone doing that, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. First of all, if you've never read piano music, then you may not know what the notes are, so here's the easy way to tell. Notice that the black keys are in groups of 3, and then in groups of 2, and 3, and if I go down the keyboard, you can see it keeps switching, 3 and 2, and 3 and 2, and 3 and 2. The note that is just to the left of the group of 2, this note, is C, and when we go to the right, we just count down the alphabet, so C, D, E, F, G, like that. If we're going to the left, we count the other way, C, B, A, G, F, etc., etc. Now notice we have these black keys. The key that is in between C and D has 2 different names. You could call it C sharp, or you could call it D flat. So anytime you have a black key that is to the right of a white key, that's going to be called a sharp. So if this is C, this is C sharp. If this is D, this is D sharp. There isn't a key right here, so E doesn't get one. Here's F sharp, G, and G sharp, like that. On the flip side, if I'm traveling to the left, then starting on, let's say, for example, this E, this is going to be E flat. And here I have D, so then this is D flat. C doesn't get one. And then B, B flat, A flat. So the point of this is that these notes have 2 different names, and they are associated with the 2 keys that are next to them. So compared to C, this is C sharp. Compared to D, this is D flat. Now, we actually do have a note that's called C flat, because when we're figuring out what the flat is, it's whatever is just to the left of the note. So for example, for D, what's just to the left is this black key. For C, what's just to the left is this white key. This white key is B, so B is actually C flat. Those are the same thing. The name for that is called enharmonic. If 2 notes are enharmonic, it means that they have the same pitch, but 2 different names. Now, when we're listening to sharps and flats, sharps sound a little higher than the note that they're associated with, and flats sound a little lower. So here's C. Now here's C sharp. You can hear that's a little higher than C. On the other hand, here's D. Here's D flat. So you can hear that the flat is a little lower. So the notes that don't have a black key in between them are B and C, and then E and F. So B sharp is C, C flat is B. And over here, here's E, E sharp is F, and F flat is E. Okay guys, so now you know how sharps and flats work on the piano, but we have to be able to write them. And so when we're writing a flat, it looks like a lowercase b almost. It's a little bit squished compared to lowercase b. It looks like this. And a sharp is just a pound sign, so looks like that. Additionally, we have one more symbol called a natural. A natural is when you want to remind the player not to play a flat or a sharp, and it looks like this. So for example, in the music, I could have a note like this. This, of course, is just a B, but now it's got this flat symbol to the left of it, and that makes the note B flat instead of B natural. So on the piano, instead of playing that B natural, now you're going to move to the left a little bit, play B flat instead. Down here we have an example of a sharp, and so this note, of course, is F, and now it's got the sharp next to it, so now it's F sharp. As a matter of practice, when you're wondering like, hey, which note is this sharp or this flat referring to? The middle of the body of the flat symbol is connected to the part that it's referring to. So for example, if I put a flat symbol like this, this is in the E line, so it's going to be relating to a note that's in the E line. So like maybe I have a quarter note here, okay? So E flat, something like that. With the sharps, it's just the center of the sharp that really crosses whatever line it is. So for example, if I put a sharp like that, here's a C. This sharp is obviously in the C space, so it's C sharp. Dang it, Johnny, stop gnawing on the keyboard. So when might I use a natural sign? Well, so for example, if we have a whole song that uses B flats the whole time, we haven't talked about key signatures yet, but let's just assume we have a song of B flats. So there's my song of B flats, and now I want to have a B natural. I would say, hey, the player might assume it's B flat because it's been B flat the whole time. So I'm going to remind him. I'm going to say, hey, look, there's a natural sign. Now that next note is going to be a B natural. So one more example to show you here. So here's some music, and I have a random note. What note is this? It's an E, but is it just E? No, it's not, because you got to pay attention over here. There's a flat symbol in the E space that's going to make this into E flat. There's another flat symbol. What's that one? Is that important? Well, not for the sake of identifying this one note, it's not. This symbol here is on the B line. There are no B's. Doesn't matter for now, okay? But this E flat matters. So you got to pay attention to what's happening over here in the music in order to identify these notes correctly. This thing is called a key signature. We haven't gotten to it yet, but we will. So previously you did note identification assignments where we just asked you to name the letter name of the note, and most of us have gotten pretty good at that, but we're going to do some more of those. But now you have to pay attention to what symbol is next to the note so that you can identify whether it's natural or flat or sharp, as well as the note name. So you're going to get started on that first assignment right now. Just click the link below and start naming those notes.